Today in Smacky's Garage, we're going to be getting this running. I have all the parts here, just needs to be reassembled, and hopefully it starts. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So if you've been following along, you know this bike is a mess. Engine was locked up, throttle is junk, carburetor was locked up, mice got in it. We're going to go ahead and replace a lot of this today and see if we can get it going. So I'm going to go ahead and replace the throttle now with new grips, and then we'll move to the engine. All right, so I got these ODI half waffle lock-on grips that I'm going to be putting on. All these things I'm purchasing myself and installing. So looking at this, I can already tell that someone has replaced the grips at some point and used the wrong hardware for it. So I have one Allen wrench and then one, probably going to be an 8mm. It's pretty much never been cleaned. So I'm going to reuse this plastic piece. I got to clean those, but everything else is going to be replaced. Got all new OEM cables. I got my grips, and then it should be just, it should spin much better. All right, not the final setup on there, but seems to be working fine. Also, something unexpected that I ran into is I can't actually thread the tool on. I believe it's the right tool. I've checked it. I've checked the threads. I put it on a small thread checker. I think there's some sort of burr or something on here, so this isn't going on. I ended up buying a die that I'm going to run across this and just clean everything up. But without this being able to get on here right now, I'm not able to take the flywheel off to get the chain out. And my giant die is here. I have to run this through, see if I can clean this up a little bit. And the flywheel's magnetic, so it's making it a little bit harder. And it came out, thank God. All right, the flywheel is off, and you can definitely see some of the threads just took a little bit of damage over the years. Probably people trying to take it off and not taking it off correctly, but I was able to rethread everything, and it's working good. Probably needs to be cleaned up. All right, so as you can see, a lot of parts are here, and I'm trying to get everything together. I'm starting to clean off the inside of the case here, and obviously someone used some sort of sealant on this at some point, so it's gonna make a mess. It's gonna take me a little while to get off, but you know, I guess this means at some point this was leaking if they ended up using sealant on it. So I guess I'm gonna scrape this for the next hour or two. All right, so this side is all cleaned up now. Cleaned up some of the junk, some of the oil in there. Took off the gasket. Probably still a few small pieces left to do, but overall, starting to look better, starting to come together. So if you remember earlier, the transmission side, the clutch side of the engine, there was a lot of gasket maker on a certain part of the cover, and I found out why. So this bolt right here, the thread in the crankcase is actually stripped, so I'm going to need to take it apart, clean it back up. I don't think I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to see if I can get everything running first before I do that. I'm hoping it holds oil in. It's not in a great area, but we shall see. If oil immediately starts dripping out of there, then obviously I'm not going to be able to start it with that. But I have a helicoil kit. It's on the way. Few days. Yeah, so here's the new carb. I checked everything. Everything seems to work. The hot start was stuck right here. But I was able to actually free it up and use mystery oil and just get it moving again. So the carb's ready to go in and everything else. And I rebuilt the stator cover, so that's ready to go in. Everything should be very, very close. All right, so we got our piston here ready to go together. I'm gonna end up dropping one of these Circlips into the piston itself so that I can get everything kind of put in. The piston looks really nice. I got one of the rings on. This arrow here is gonna go to the exhaust. And then I need to put in the oil rings, or the oil ring, and then these two sweepers on either side. Instructions were a little bit confusing because it shows top ring, second ring, oil ring, and then two slide rails. There's no second ring, and looking at the piston, there's no place for it. There's a little groove, but not for a second ring. So with all that, I'm gonna go ahead and get these on and then ready to go. All right, so pistons all set, rings are all set. The trick here is get the oil ring in first and then get the other ones in. Everything is lined up where I want it. So Circlip is going in. Just gonna make sure I don't put the end at this location where this is, because it could fall out. This is not as easy to do on camera as it looks. All right, so piston's in place. Just gonna get the other Circlip on, and then I should be able to go. Everything is turning out to be exactly the same as working on a car. There hasn't really been any differences, except the Circlips, to get them on, more of a pain in the butt. All right, cylinder head time. All right, with that back in, we're gonna drop in the timing chain piece. So this guide here. It calls for a little bit of thread lock, so we'll do a... Okay, that's in. Should still move freely. Now for the chain. New chain is going in. Through. Okay, so that's there, not gonna fall through. Now, it's time for the head. All right, so these are gonna get torqued in steps to 29 foot-pounds, but until then, so as I'm doing this, I did notice interesting valve train wear on the lifters there. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and order 2 more before I start this up. Just looking at the wear, it's not worth damaging anything. Checked out the camshaft. Camshaft is completely fine. So not worrying about anything there. It's just on the lifters. So let's make it easy and just jump to when the lifters are here. Hey, new lifters are here. New lifters are here. New grip and grip parts are here. I snuck the carburetor in. We're going together. All right, so the parts are here, lifters are here. I ended up having to buy new handlebar parts for it because you guys saw that I had the incorrect bolt in it. It was because it was stripped. Got the ODI grips back on. They don't actually fit that well. I had to spend about 30 minutes sanding down the outside here to get them to not interfere, but I'm at the point now where they're working. I did get some Honda ones. The Honda ones actually look great. This little ring here is smaller. It is nice and smooth. There's no mold line halfway down the part. It's a little bit thinner. It's a little bit less in diameter. Everything looks great on it. The ODI ones need work. I like ODI grips in general. I have them on my mountain bike back there. And, you know, just a little bit more work than expected, but gonna get these on. I already have the carburetor on, and then we can go ahead, get the lifters in, get the head all set. All right, so what was actually happening with these was when I went to put it in full throttle, it would actually get stuck here. So not an ideal situation. With this all sanded down on the inside here, it seems to be working fine now. But it is something I'm gonna watch on this. Go ahead and drop that shim on. I'm gonna add my oily new lifter right on top. Oily new lifter goes into place. Now, on 4-strokes, timing is incredibly important. So in here, there's gonna be a small dot that is kinda hard to see right now, but I have to line up that dot on that tooth with this right here. When those are lined up, the piston is at top dead center, and while that is lined up, I need to line up the markings on this gear here. You can see the dot in there is lined up with that arrow there. And let's check the chain. On the chain side, you can see those are pretty well lined up as well. Okay, so after going through and checking all the valves, you know, the valves are out of spec. So especially this one here, there was no clearance on the intake on the left side. Now, a lot of this could have been because the lifter itself was way worn down, and when I replaced it with one that was larger, it isn't worn down, so that is probably what was happened. So I ended up shimming this one. This one had a little bit of space. I ended up adding a little bit more shims here to do that. The exhaust side was perfect. So the exhaust side was fine. It was exactly where it's supposed to be. So now everything is within spec and ready to go. I'm at 0.005 on the intake left side, 0.005 on the intake right side, .011 on the exhaust left, .011 on the exhaust right. So everything in spec, ready to go. All right, 47 pound-feet on this. The strap wrench should be able to hold it in place. All right, so using the strap tool, I struggled much longer than I should have. I actually tried 2 different other ones before I finally got this one to work. 46. Trying to get to 47. I'm gonna call it done. All right, it's been a super long night. I'm pretty much ready to start the bike. I got the exhaust on. I completely destroyed the gasket that was gonna go with it. So need to get another one of these, should still start. Trying to figure out how the plastics go back on, but everything's pretty much all set. I just need to get gas in the gas tank and plumb a new line from here to the carburetor. And then hopefully in the morning it'll fire up, but it's been a long night. Bike's looking good. I think everything mechanically is there. I definitely need to go through, torque everything down. I need to go ahead, clean up all the wiring, but we can at least see if it runs. This is a little sketchy, but we will make it work. Just in case, I put a zip tie here on the coil pack in case the kill start doesn't work, but we're gonna go ahead and try it out. Hook up the hose to gas. Turn the gas on. I'm gonna give it a little bit of time to flow and put some in the carburetor. Need to hook up the battery. And then I guess we're gonna try it out. All right, so it's been sitting, let it fill up the bowl. And let's go. Okay then. Carb slide's making a lot of noise. All right, so it runs. Feels like it's firing before the valve is completely closed. So I'm gonna check the timing one more time. Gonna check the clearances on the valves. But it only does it at idle, which is interesting. All right, so the good news is it runs. The bad news is I'm not exactly sure where that noise is coming from. So while I have it apart, I'm gonna go ahead and check the valve clearance one more time before I decide what's next. But the good news is, didn't seem to have any bottom end noises. I pulled the tensioner out because it was leaking some oil. And you can clearly see the spring is broken there. I don't know if this is getting stuck in there or what, so this has to be replaced. I'm going to replace it with the manual one very soon as it comes in. So it's been a little bit of time since I recorded the beginning part to now. Spent a lot of time getting everything sorted out, and it's pretty much ready to go together and for its first ride. I got a bunch of new parts that I'm putting on. I have a new clutch that I'm working through. I have a bunch of replacement bolts that I needed, so I got the right hardware. And the noise on the carburetor goes away when it's warmed up and it's idling at the right speed. I ended up getting an hour meter and tachometer for the front, so a lot of projects. It's coming together. Thanks for tuning in this week on Smacky's Garage. I'll see you next time.